What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. Surprise Saturday video. Don't get used to this. I'm trying to have a personal life at the end of the day. But hey, the All-Star reserves were just announced, and there's been some snubs, apparently. So let's go talk about it. And that brings us back here to Bleacher Report, because of course it does. We got Trey on the ground doing 6. I don't know what this is exactly all about. But anyway, the All-Star reserves were just announced, right? It's a very, very exciting thing. At the end of the day, I guess I could go and pull up the actual list itself so that we could take a look at it, and we'll compare it to the list that we put together in a separate video and everything, but we'll talk about the snubs as well throughout this process. I don't want this video to play right now, so don't play. Eastern Conference, I told you it's Friday when I'm recording this, so just bear with me as I try to muster my way through this video. Eastern Conference reserves: 2 guards, 3 front court, 2 wild cards. I didn't know that's the actual structure that it has to follow. That's kind of interesting. So we got Darius Garland. Fair, makes sense to me. Cade Cunningham, makes a ton of sense, been amazing. Damian Lillard, yep. Tyler Hero, yep, been really, really good this year. Jaylen Brown, not surprised at all. Evan Mobley, yep. Pascal Siakam. Did we have Pascal Siakam on our sheet? This was the sheet that we used before. We did have Pascal Siakam. Did we get anybody wrong in this? Jalen Brunson was a starter, so the only difference here was that Jalen Brunson was a starter, Damian Lillard was a backup. Otherwise, did we get all of them? I think no. Jared Allen, right? Who did we not get then? Who did we miss? Did I not say Tyler Hero on this? I didn't have Tyler Hero. I went with Jared Allen over Tyler Hero. Okay. Fair enough. Jared Allen was definitely one that in the comments people were a little bit like, I'm not sure I'd put him on there, and I get that. Tyler Hero, very deserving as well. So I know we had Tyler Hero like on our list of people that we were choosing from and stuff. So shout out Tyler Hero, man, very well deserved. A phenomenal season for him. The Western Conference All-Stars: Anthony Edwards, yep. James Harden. Interesting. I do not believe we had Mr. Harden on our list. No, we did not. Just taking a look at James Harden this year, he's had a good season, and the Clippers have been pretty good overall. And you know what? Let's get this out of the way right now. Standings. How much do they actually matter when picking an all-star? I always tell people, I think it should have like some weight. I think it should have some. I don't think it should have more than like 10-15% of weight, though. Like, I think if you're deciding between 2 people and they look really identical, that's when you should kind of go to the record and say, okay, well, who's on a better team or something like that? Because here's my thing, right? If LeBron James was on, I'm doing the Windhorse fingers right now. Why am I doing this? If you put LeBron James on the Washington Wizards right now, let's just say they're still bad, right? But LeBron is still doing his thing. You're not going to put LeBron James as an all-star starter? Come on now, right? Like, you're going to do that. That's at least my opinion with things. So I don't think it should matter a ton. I think it should just be who are the best players. Guys don't always get to pick what teams that they're on at the end of the day. Like, if Wemby's Spurs just were really, really bad, like, would you tell me that Wemby's not that good of a player? Like, there's an argument to say, like, well, if he was that good, he could just make his team a little bit better, to which I'd say you don't know what the team would look like without them. So it could be 100 times worse. So that's something to think about in regards to that. But going back to James Harden here, what do we have this year for his season stats? 21, 22 points a game, very respectable. 8.4 assists is really good. Turnovers, a little bit high for his position, that's fair to say. But looking at like efficiency and everything, pretty poor efficiency. He's like league average from 3, maybe slightly below it, taking a lot of attempts from the field, very inefficient right now. He's making his free throws and getting a lot of free throw attempts, so we didn't necessarily agree with that one. I think that one's maybe a bit of a stretch as well. They got Victor Wembanyama on there. Totally fair. Jalen Williams, that was a guy that we debated and did not put on there either, and I felt really bad about it. Look, the Thunder are the #1 team at the end of the day, and he's the 2nd best player in a really good team. A lot of guys touch that rotation and everything, so I get it. I totally get it. I'll have to see like who they didn't take from our list. Alperen Şengün. Wow, we really didn't do as great on like the Western Conference one. I don't think I actually put Şengün even on the list of considerations when we did it. I believe we looked at him and we talked about it, but I think I said, looking at like his individual statistics and everything, it's not enough for me to say like he should be one of those guys. And look, Şengün's awesome. I love Şengün. Also, why is he the sneakiest athletic? player like I've ever seen in my life. Like, he has like no dorsal flexion in his jump and he still springs up. It's so interesting to me. 19 points a game, 10.5 rebounds. That's sick in and of itself. That's sick. Like 3.5 offensive boards. That's sick. 5 assists, 2.4 turnovers. That's amazing for a center. That's really good. Really inefficient, though. Really, really inefficient this season. Not a great free throw percentage. Really, really poor from behind the arc. He's not taking a bunch anyway, but still, he is taking them and not very efficient for his position here. And so I'm like, you're not really crossing that. And it doesn't have to be, but you're not really crossing that 20-point-a-game threshold and everything. It's kind of like, you got to be showing off a little bit more. And I know his team is really, really good. And is he probably the best player on the Rockets? I'd say on a night-to-night basis, probably so. It might be Amen Thompson now at this point, which, am I willing to make that argument? Yes, I am. But you know what? I'm not sure all-star was needed. Jaren Jackson Jr., we had Jaren Jackson, right? Like, he's been phenomenal this season. Did I not have Jaren Jackson Jr.? I messed up, y'all. I might have messed up. I might have messed up big time. It feels weird to not have Jaren Jackson Jr. on this. I might be having a little crisis right now because it feels weird that I left Jaren Jackson Jr. off this list. He could be Defensive Player of the Year this year. He's been extremely efficient. He's scoring from every possible way. Ooh, AVC, you might not have done the best of job. Hey, it's fair to be criticized. It really, really is. Anthony Davis, we had Anthony Davis. So who didn't they have on here, right? So Ant, Shea, Steph was a starter instead, right? So Anthony Davis, LeBron, Devin Booker was not there. Durant made it. Yeah, Durant made it. So they didn't have Fox, they didn't have Sabonis, and they didn't have Kyrie. Not having Devin Booker on it feels kind of wild. And we'll read the actual article in a second with some names and everything, but not having Devin... I know the Suns have been bad, but you guys heard my take on that already, so I don't want to hear you go into the comments and be like, if you see he's not on a winning team. I just explained all the fucking thoughts already. If you think it should weigh more, then give me a reason why, you dum-dums in the comments. But anyway, looking at Devin Booker this year, 25, almost 26 points a game, like 6.5 assists, getting 4 rebounds. The assist-to-turnover ratio is really, really good, hitting his free throws, hitting a lot of him or of them. 3-point percentage is below average and the field goal percentage could be better though. That is more than fair. That is more than fair. If we go look at some of like the actual like ranking numbers, I'm curious where you're going to find him right now because he's playing 37 minutes a game, which is pretty crazy. Okay, we're on actual. That's good. We go over here to Devin Booker. Devin Booker finds himself in the 97th percentile for offense and the 32nd defensively. It's so interesting how Devin Booker can go from having like good defensive season to bad defensive season. Like, it really just is a choice for him, it must be, because like he's like fine last year. Like, he's pretty good at defense actually, and we saw in like the Olympics, big time defender. Like, we know he can do it. And then there's seasons where it's just like down. So it's really, really interesting. But man, that's where does Devin Booker just like rank overall? He's probably not high enough even on this list, is he? Yeah, no, he's all the way down here in the 93rd percentile. Amen Thompson's ahead of him. See, that's what I'm saying. Amen Thompson. But Alfred Şengün's in front of Amen Thompson. So you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough to that. So no Devin Booker. Okay, your boy can concede that fact. De'Aaron Fox, we kind of talked. We talked a lot about him this week. I can kind of see it. Sabonis feels crazy to me. That one feels crazy. For who else? Like for James Harden and Şengün, you're telling me Sabonis isn't having a better season than Şengün. Let's take a look at this just really, really quickly, right? Let me take a quick look at this. 20 points per game, almost 21 points per game. 14.5 rebounds. That is insane. Leading the NBA right now. 6.5 assists. Assist-to-turnover ratio still very good. The free throw percentage, fine, very respectable. He's hitting his three-pointers, and he's super efficient there. And that's when you go, EVC, what about the defense? He's not a rim protector. Yeah, so I get it. Like, but neither is Şengün really in that department. So if we go over to his numbers here, let's see where good old Sabonis is defensively. Oh, would you look at that? Just because you're not a shot blocker don't mean you're not a defender. 93 or 93rd percentile on defense, 96th on offense, estimated plus minus overall, 99th percentile. If you don't understand these stats, by the way, I've explained them in a couple other videos. Go look it up for yourself. It's incredibly complicated. If you're not a statistics major, I almost guarantee you won't understand it. So, I don't know, watch a YouTube video on it. That's how I learned how to do it. I wasn't good at math either. But anyway, okay, let's go read the actual article. see who they think were snubs. So the Eastern starters, we got Brunson, Mitchell, Giannis, Tatum, Towns. We got all of them except we had Brunson as a backup for Damian Lillard. I could see how it's interchangeable. We already talked about the bench guys. We were really, really close with the Eastern reserves, so not a bad pick by us. Western Conference starters, Curry, we didn't have him starting, but we also forgot that the games are in Golden State. That should have been a clue. That's a big dumb moment by me. Otherwise, we had Anthony Edwards starting, so fair enough. I can't deny that. Notable omissions: LaMelo Ball. Okay, so we talked about this. We did not even put LaMelo Ball as an option on our list. By the way, we deleted names on here since that's why you guys aren't actually seeing any of those. But we looked at LaMelo Ball and we said, and I've seen the discourse online, right? It's the stats. Like, he's averaging more points, assists, rebounds than like all of the bench guys that are on here. Here's the thing. The 28 points per game is awesome. The assist to turnover ratio, not bad. Not bad, not great for a point guard. The efficiency is not good. Not good for LaMelo Ball. And look, bad basketball team, right? So that's going to play a part in it. I will say, personally, from just me watching it, LaMelo Ball's still a little bit crazy in how he does things. He's an awesome player. There's still some maturing that needs to happen to his game. So I personally didn't think he deserved to be on it either. I'm not surprised NBA coaches who kind of get to like vote on this stuff were like, nah, I'm not doing that, because look, as a coach, it gives me a headache to watch him play sometimes. It really does. He can do some incredible things. It's just like I feel like I would need to like rein him in and everything. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really attribute to like very efficient basketball. But again, bad basketball team, right? So that's just part of it. Luka Doncic, this one I find weird just because he's been hurt like the whole season, and like, what he's supposed to do. Same with Franz. He's just missed a lot of time. Franz has had a really good season overall, and we should be excited about Franz and Paolo going forward. Like, if they were both healthy and playing like they were the whole season, and the Magic were still winning basketball games, then yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I'm sure Franz will get back into the conversation of like MIP as long as he like keeps playing throughout the season, right? Just because, again, this is an incredible jump to go from 19-20 all the way up to like 25. That's really good. Need to see the efficiency numbers go up with him as well, but overall, very exciting player. So yeah, a lot of injuries kind of derailing these guys. Even LaMelo's been out a decent amount of the time too. I'd say it's enough to where he could have been on the team, but overall, kind of like meh. Eastern Conference, Tyrese Halliburton just had like he's had such a weird fluctuating season and everything. Like for the first like half, or the first quarter, I should say, of this season, and now this second quarter, he's kind of picking it up. The first quarter was really poor for him, and again, still looked like he was injured to me, so we can give him a little bit of slack. But at the end of the day, how you're playing is how you're playing, and I was like, nah, I can't conceive you being on the All-Star team. By the way, just looking at like the East in and of itself, look at the guard lineup. Like, obviously Tyler Hero is now on this, but Lillard, Brunson, Garland, Cade, like, that's really good. All four of those guys, Donovan Mitchell included, like, I would say better than Tyrese Halliburton. And Tyrese Halliburton's a really good basketball player. Like, there's just a lot of really good guards in the East right now. So I don't know what to tell you. Western Conference, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, no, we had Kyrie on the team, right? Yeah, we had Kyrie on the team. Looking at Kyrie's numbers, it seems a little odd to me that he didn't make it over like a Jalen Williams or something like that. Like, I'm looking at things, right, and I'm like, okay, Harden's a little bit confusing to me. Jalen Williams a little bit, but I get the argument. I do, and I do think Jalen Williams like is like as good as these guys. I just think you'd actually have to like watch the film to understand it perfectly, if you would. So I can see why the argument's being made for him to not be on it. I'd say not Şengün. That was my bad for leaving Jaren Jackson Jr. off the list. Like, if I were to go back and look at things now, I might take De'Aaron Fox off the list and put Jaren Jackson Jr. on there. So that one is that's on your boy. But anyway, we're looking at Kyrie Irving and his numbers and everything. The 24 points per game this season. Like, he's been stupid efficient all the way around, getting you almost 5 assists a game too. He's keeping the turnovers low for his position. That's awesome. We all know the impact that he's had, like trying to keep the Mavericks afloat and everything without Luka. It feels weird. I feel like, too, if you just watch Kyrie Irving, you know he just is better than, like, everyone else. So, I don't know. That one does feel like a snub to me. I feel like he should have been on the list. Like, I would kick James Harden off the list first. Or no. I'm kicking, Who am I kicking off this list first? I'm kicking James Harden off the list first for Kyrie Irving. So that one I'll agree with. Trae Young. Okay, it's the same argument as LaMelo, except he's been healthier. Like, Trae Young just has not played efficient basketball this year. You go and look at the numbers themselves, like, some of the, like, you'll say Trae Young is the best passer in the NBA right now. I'd say that's probably pretty accurate in the sense of, like, counting statistics. It's not anything very complicated that he does, but at the end of the day, he's getting 11.5 assists a game, which is really, really good, right? That's awesome. 22 points, 11.5 assists. Like, that would have won you MVP back in the day with Steve Nash, right? It's just is what it is. But the efficiency numbers are climbing up right now. So they were much, much worse than where they were. And the turnovers are just high. He has the ball a ton, right? Like, when you're getting close to 5 turnovers a game, though, that's pretty excessive. The ratio itself isn't as bad because you are getting an ungodly amount of assists right now. But it just seems like it's a little bit much. And again, for as much film as I watch Trae Young and I can't help but just feel a little bit annoyed. Like, I love the dude himself. Like, just seems like that's the kind of dude I want to coach. I want that guy as the leader of my team, right? It's the way he plays in the sense that it's not evolving at all that makes me a little bit frustrated. Defensively, I'll give him credit for, right? He's trying so much harder on that end of the court. At the end of the day, he does have his limitations, but I give him a ton of credit for being better on that end of the court because it just looks so much effort driven, right? And that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. It's the offensive side of the ball. We need to get him moving without the basketball a little bit more and being more of a factor and opening up other opportunities for other people. Because again, a lot of these assists are just kind of like simple things. He beats his guy and, you know, the defense has to collapse on things and he makes the right, simple play. And that's awesome, right? That he's able to do it and it's that easy for him. I wouldn't say he's doing anything like superb or stupendous, but, you know, he plays the game a very simple way. So fair enough. I can't hate on that. But would I put Trae Young in the All-Star game? Probably not. Probably not. Western Conference. We already talked about Sabonis. I think that's crazy that he's not in here. Why does Sar look so confused right here? But this is like 2 years in a row where he hasn't been in it, right? Because Sabonis didn't make it last year either, I don't believe. And I believe he had some crazy numbers last year as well, right? Yeah, no, he was All-NBA third team, but didn't make the All-Star team. And he was scoring about 20 points again, like 13.5 rebounds, 8.2 assists. That's insane. Shooting well from 3 on at least 1 attempt a game and good field goal percentage. This is insane. That is a true snub. That's crazy. I know the Kings haven't been great. Come on now. Sabonis is awesome. Sabonis is awesome. Honorable mentions, Norman Powell. We discussed it. I think he has a better case maybe than Harden. Maybe just because, like, he's so efficient and you're like, oh, how much does efficiency matter? We're talking about the best players at the end of the day, and Norman Powell just kind of doesn't miss from the court at the end of the day, which is kind of an ironic statement to say because he does shoot less than 50% in, like, these statistical categories, so he actually misses more than he makes, but that this is good for NBA standards, right? So kind of a weird little mind fuck there for you. But I don't know. I find it interesting. I think Norm Powell could have been... I'd give it to Norm Powell before I'd give it to Şengün. That's for sure. I'm not sure, like... I look at, like, my list and, like, what actually happened. I don't know. So to recap, let's go take a look at like all these guys again, and would we actually put them on there? So what we would have picked overall, where's the list again? So LaMelo Ball, nope, we wouldn't have added him to this one. Luka, Franz, nope, we wouldn't have added them to it. Maybe we should go do this as well. Maybe we should get the correct rosters on here as well or something like that. So I need to add Tyler Hero to the East and take off who didn't actually make it, Jared Allen. So let's add Tyler Hero here. So Jared Allen, you're no longer there. We're going to add Tyler Hero to the list here. That's cool. And then a lot of these we messed up, right? So no Devin Booker, no Fox, no Sabonis, no Kyrie. And who is it actually? Harden, Williams, Şengün, Jaren Jackson. So let's do that again. James Harden. Let's do Şengün. Let's do Jaren Jackson Jr. And then let's do, who's the other one? I already forgot. It was Jalen Williams, right? So Jalen Williams right there. So we take Sabonis off the list. Who else are we taking off the list? Devin Booker. And then we take 2 of these point guards off there. So now I throw Şengün here. I'll just throw Jaren Jackson at the 4, because we all know that's where he wants to actually play at the end of the day, isn't it? J-Dub, he can go right here. And then who is the other one? Harden. So I'll throw... Harden's plays more point guard at this point anyway. So there we go. Okay, so this is the list that, like, actually happened. We will make edits should we see fit. Halliburton, no, we're not adding him to the list. Kyrie Irving, yes, he should have made the list. So now we go back. Who do we want to take off? Who was the first person that we said we're going to take off? Either Jalen Williams, Şengün, Harden. I'm going to take Harden off, and I'm going to add Kyrie Irving back onto the list. So here's Kyrie. He's back on the team. Congratulations, Kyrie. You're no longer snubbed in the mind of the AVC fans. I don't know if you guys actually agree with me, but shut up. Just do what I say. Trae Young, fair enough. Oh, they did have honorable mention Tyrese Maxey on here. Again, just poor efficiency season. He scored a ton. Winning or losing basketball this year, not really his fault. I think he's playing good this year, but I wouldn't have put him on the team. Sabonis, yeah, no, Sabonis should be on the team. Not even a question about that. So I'm taking Şengün off the list, I think, and we're putting Sabonis. So we're gonna put Sabonis there, and we'll throw him right there. There we go. Anybody else that we really need to talk about? Honorable mentions: Norm Powell. Nope, not putting him on the list. So overall, we agree with the Eastern Conference. Do I think Jared Allen could have made it over Tyler Hero? Yeah. I see the argument for Tyler Hero, though, too, so I'm not tripping about that one whatsoever. So the East, we're pretty in line with. The West, we think Kyrie Irving was snubbed. We deem you snubbed, Kyrie Irving. Domantas Sabonis, we deem you snubbed. You have been snubbed by this YouTube channel, I guess. I don't know. It's Friday. I'm just making a YouTube video. Shut up. Oh, geez. All right. I think I'm just going to end the video here. We're not going to do a comment to the video for this one or anything like that. Like I said, I just want to get a quick video up so that you guys had something to watch on a Saturday. I had like 25, 30 minutes, so I wanted to get one recorded for you. But hey, I appreciate you guys as always. Leave a comment. You guys know I respond to every single one. Go join the Discord. We are talking about things constantly on there. And I'm getting ready for the trade deadline coming up this next week, y'all. I'll be putting out a ton of videos for every single trade that happens. So really looking forward to it. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye.